Hi, everyone. So, Mercury just moved into Capricorn. And when that happens, it's a time of communicating. And it's not just about communicating, but it's about communicating the rules, it's communicating organization, boundaries. So, it's a perfect time to kind of talk about partnerships. And it doesn't have to necessarily be romantic partnerships, although it can be, but this could be about friendships. It could be about work relationships. It's really about any kinds of relationships at all, because all relationships require boundaries and rules and organization. So that's what I'm going to try to look at today is to see if we can just get a quick energy update about Mercury in Capricorn. So we're starting with the Ace of Cups, which is such a pretty energy to start with because this is all about love for yourself. This is having an open and flowing heart chakra. This is about self-care. This is just really knowing how to pour love into yourself. And this is also, the aces are also opportunities. So this could be a portal that's opening up for you, perhaps for a new relationship. But since we're starting with the cups, I do get the sense that this might be less of a work relationship and more of either a relationship with yourself or perhaps a relationship with people that you love. It could be a romantic partner, it could be friends, it could be family, but there's more emotion involved in this than I would expect in a work partnership. But we will see. I want to see what else comes out in the energy. But I like where we're starting with this Mercury in Capricorn, that you already have a full heart. So then there's Temperance, Four of Cups, Three of Cups. That's my card of friendships. So perhaps the Devil, Queen of Cups, lot of cups energy, 10 of Cups, the Hanged Man, 10 of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles. And underneath all of that is Judgment. Oh, and the Sun. Look at that. The Sun just wanted to pop out too. I don't usually keep going, but I was told to. So there you go. Judgment and the Sun. So we have some extra majors showing up there at the end too. So we're definitely going to take note of that. So it looks like you definitely do have you have a great love and respect for yourself. With this Ace of Cups, I can tell that you very deeply value yourself. But I am getting the sense that because Temperance is our challenge card, that there may be something challenging or someone challenging in your energy who is making you feel a bit unbalanced. So it's giving me the sense that when you're by yourself, you're very balanced. You know your self-worth, you know your self-value, you have love for yourself. But then someone comes along and sort of disrupts this for you. And just by looking at this, this is either a very close friend group with the Three of Cups, or this is family with the 10 of Cups. So it could be, make it make sense for you if it's a friend or a family member, or if it's a group of friends or a group of family members that may be causing you a little bit of an imbalance right now. Maybe there are people in your energy who are unwilling to compromise with you. Maybe they're taking the my way or the highway type of attitude towards this situation or towards you right now. But you know your self-worth. You have enough self-love that you know that perhaps this isn't really for you, whatever this is that's making you try to feel off balance. It is a major arcana here though, and the Temperance card is often a card too of protection from angels. And we have seen so far so many majors pop up through this. We have the Devil, we have the Hanged Man, we have Temperance, and then we saw Judgment and the Sun underneath. So this does feel like a very divinely guided type of situation, and that the universe looks to be with you and on your side. I also get the sense when I see a lot of majors in a 10 card spread, it does give me the impression that this is something that perhaps you have been doing in past lifetimes and you're learning as you go. You level up more with each lifetime. So that's just another side note for those who needed to hear that. But this again, this Four of Cups here is giving me the exact same energy as the Ace of Cups. It's not different for me in this particular reading. I feel like your foundation is so solid when it comes to your emotions that I feel like it's very hard to rattle you on an emotional level. So if somebody comes in and tries to upset your peace, I feel like you just don't really react to it, that you've become very skilled at balancing your emotions and understanding that it doesn't affect you when someone comes in and tries to disrupt your peace. And I think that you also have a very good way with this Four of Cups of sort of clearing your energy. So if someone comes in to try to disrupt you, not only are you not affected by it, but you're very good at transmuting the negative energies and really kind of clearing your energy. So some people will use sage or other methods of cleaning out their energy. And I feel like you just do it on an energetic level. It's like you know how to transmute the negativity almost before it even hits you. It's almost like you're in a bubble, and any negative energy that tries to come towards you, it just sort of bounces right off of your exterior bubble. Hopefully that made sense to somebody. That was for somebody. I think there's someone here that you're releasing. I think there was a group of friends. I want to say it's a group of friends, but make it make sense for you. There was a group of friends that I think were all soul sisters or soulmates or people who really loved to spend time together. But I feel like someone in that group is being released. And I think that's there's some divine guidance, some divine intervention here when it comes to this person, that you're meant to sort of release one of these people in your energy. I am getting the sense still that this is a friend group, but of course, make it make sense for you. If there's a group you're struggling with, or a certain person who the group is struggling with. But I am seeing the Ten of Cups here, so I do get the sense that these are friends that they're like friends, like family, like so close friends. Maybe you've been friends forever. Like I said, it almost has this like soul sister vibe to it. But again, make it make sense for you. But this feels like friends, like family. But you're very heavily thinking that someone here in this group is just not for you anymore. And I think you're starting to release someone, or at least you have the desire to release them, that you feel like there's an unhealthy attachment somehow. You're really convinced that something here in this group is very unhealthy. So whether it's unhealthy for you, for the whole group, if it's unhealthy for the person you're trying to release, whatever that is, you are very well aware that this friend group needs some kind of an upgrade, that this friend group needs to awaken to the fact that there's something or someone toxic in that situation, in that bond somehow. Someone has kind of infiltrated your group is what that really looks like to me. So it's not surprising that a reading like this would pop up when Mercury goes into Capricorn, because this is a time of setting boundaries. This is a time of making the rules. This is a time of organizing your friend groups and organizing your partnerships. It's a very good time to do that, and also to communicate those things to each other. So it looks to me like you are very much being compassionate about this situation. Like you certainly don't want to hurt this person, but it almost is giving the impression that you've outgrown them. Like the Three of Cups gives me the energy of parties and hanging out and relaxing and not taking anything too seriously, where the Queen of Cups is a very mature energy. So it may just simply be that you've outgrown this group of friends, or you've outgrown a friend member or two in this group. It does give me the sense, though, that there may have been partying involved or things of that nature. But I think that as you have been maturing, you are moving more away from that, or less with them, and more towards whatever you're maturing towards, whatever you're more interested in. The Queen of Cups is very compassionate, very nurturing. She's a healer. She could be a mother. So you may have decided you want to start having children now, and you're releasing the partying vibe of these friends. It could be as simple as that. It could be much deeper than that, depending on your own specific situation. But this is giving me this feeling that you're just outgrowing it in general. You've had time to really look at your self-value and grow up and fill your own heart, that you don't really need some of the superficial things that may have gone on in the past with this group. But with the 10 of Cups here, the problem, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, but this again, this feels like family to you. This group feels like your family. And so you have a certain sense of loyalty that you feel towards them. And there's a lot of trust and belonging and those types of feelings when it comes to this group. So I think that's why your inner Queen of Cups is coming out, and you just really want to handle the situation delicately and compassionately while also setting down some firm boundaries of what your life is going to look like for yourself and how these people or that person is still going to fit into your life, if they're going to fit in at all. Because I'm seeing with the Devil here that you kind of feel like continuing to be with this friend group or these people or this person is just going to lead you down the wrong path, that you're past that and you want to be in this energy instead. I think with the Hanged Man being here, I feel like you see this group of friends as being stuck. You see them as not growing. You see them as not really contributing to society, perhaps, or even if they are, you don't see any evolution with this group. And so I think that you're trying to also, this Hanged Man can also apply to your enlightenment about this group of people, and that you know that you need to be on a different path, that path is no longer for you, and you're going through some sort of an enlightenment, some kind of an awakening to where it is that you are supposed to be going in general, and even your life's path, and how the universe is supporting you, and where, and what your talents are, what your skills are, what your spiritual gifts are. All of these questions are cropping up for you right now. The 10 of Swords, I think, is your own inner world that you're worried about. So it's a double-sided message. That's the same message. So bear with me. You want to put an end to this relationship, this friend group, whatever it is that for you, you want to put an end to it. It's what you want most, is to just say, this is over. I can't go back there. This house looks like it's falling into ruins, and you feel like that's what your life will look like if you continue to go down that path with them. But at the same time, it's your biggest fear. Your biggest fear is also putting an end to this situation, because these are your friends. This is your family. This is who you feel loyal to. So you're very split on whether or not you're going to put a fork in this situation or not. So, but I see you with the Knight of Pentacles. I see you kind of fighting the good fight here, and you're going to move away from them, but you're going to do it in such a slow fashion. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving. The Knights are all about movement, but the Pentacles are very slow moving, and it's just the nature of earth energy. So the Swords and the Wands go very quickly. The Swords and the Wands represent our thoughts and our emotions. And as soon as we think a thought, it shows up, right? It's instantaneous. But if we want something on a 3D level, it takes time. If we're building something, if we're, whatever it is, if we're trying to make money, resources of the earth take time. If you're growing a tree, it just takes time on the 3D realm. And so that's what the Knight of Pentacles represents. It's movement on the earth realm, in the 3D realm. So what I see is you moving away from this group, but you're doing it in such a slow way that almost no one will notice. So instead of, maybe if you went out every Thursday night, you start going out every other Thursday night, and then you go out once a month, and you understand. So I feel like you're just sort of slowly and steadily moving towards your own maturity while making it not so obvious. It's almost like you're not communicating to them that this is your plan, and that you're just going because you love them so much, is really what I'm getting. And then we saw underneath, we don't want to forget about that. We saw Judgment and the Sun. And this is very much about your own awakening, your own enlightenment. It's a very good sign to me that you moving diligently and steadily down your own path. So in other words, there's not going to be a sudden change in this situation. And I feel like that's the good middle ground. We had the Temperance here, which is all about middle ground, which is what you were struggling with. So I think that the good solution for you is to just decide to back off, but do it in a way that almost no one notices. And I do think that when you start going down that path, that is when your spiritual enlightenment will happen. And then you'll ultimately find your peace and enlighten. These are both cards of enlightenment. So you're going to find your peace, enlightenment, happiness as you move away from this group. And it might be hard, but the reality is we outgrow people, especially if we're on a spiritual path. We outgrow people kind of all the time. So that's really what that is. And if you don't want to go partying anymore and you want to stay in, that's exactly what you should be doing, and not to feel any pressures or feel like you have to do something because you don't want to let them down. So I do feel like you've come up with a pretty good solution by just kind of being stealthy about it. But I would like to pull a few more cards to see if there's anything that we missed as far as if you're not seeing something, maybe what some advice could be for you. So there's a Knight of Cups who's popping up in what you don't see. And so there may be a person here as part of this friend group who also wants to release these friends. So there may be someone that you can do this work with. So the two knights together, this is you, this is another person in your energy. I do kind of get the sense that you're not the only one who feels this way. And so if it's just one friend group member who still wants to party and the rest of you want to move on, I think it's important that you keep your eye on the people in the group who feel more similarly to you. And perhaps you just haven't been communicating. You haven't been talking about it. Maybe everyone thinks they're the only one who wants to break out of this. But I do think that this person is showing up here to say, no, you're not the only one. You just haven't had those conversations. And again, this is why it's perfect for Mercury and Capricorn energy, because it is a perfect time to communicate to each other about what the new rules of the friend group is going to be and what the boundaries are and how much partying you want to do and if you can sustain that any longer. So this is a very specific message. But let's see if we can get anything else from the tarot. We have the Lovers, the Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is kind of repeating messages with a little bit of nuance. The Lovers here is telling me that you're being asked to really focus on making a very good choice, making a divinely guided choice. And we saw that with the Knight of Pentacles, that you're making this choice to move away from them, but you're doing it in a way where it's not going to be too disruptive and it's not going to be too sudden or rock the boat for anybody. But also I think it's asking you to be careful about choosing between the people who want to evolve with you and the people who are just stuck in this hanged man energy. So make sure you do keep your eye on who might evolve with you. Like, you don't want to just walk away from the entire group. There could be people who are feeling the same way you are. So that's repeating a bit. And I think in the interim, as you're moving away from this group, your challenge will be this Two of Pentacles, because you're going to still be trying to balance both, right? You're going to be trying to balance your new mature energy with the energy of still trying to hang out with your friends as you separate from them, and trying to just find the new middle ground between what your life is going to look like if you do cut these people off, or if you see them less, or if you all evolve together. But this right now is your challenge, is learning how to just balance all of those parts of your life and all of those relationships. And the advice is the Eight of Pentacles, which is very similar to the Knight of Pentacles, which is just keep focusing on your own work, keep your head down, and just very slowly move away from whatever you find to be this toxic devil energy, because clearly you do think it's toxic with the devil showing up there. So I think that that's your best advice there. Then we have the Queen of Wands underneath the deck, and the Queen of Wands is all about self-value and self-worth, which is how we started the reading with the Ace of Cups. The Queen of Wands has a very open heart and a very open solar plexus. She's very confident, but she also knows her own worth. And she knows that she can change her own life. She's not worried about it at all. She holds a magic wand. And if she wants to change her life, she changes it. And so I think that's the advice coming through with the Queen of Wands, is that if you want to change a situation, you can change it. There's no one better than the Queen of Wands to do that. And that's how you're showing up in this energy. So let's wrap this up with a few big picture oracle cards. And then I'd like to get a couple tea leaf cards. And I always like to look at your chakras too. So we have the bear, we have the broken mirror, and we have the handshake. So when I see this together, this is still more confirmation of what we've already been seeing. The bear can be a very powerful friend. But the broken mirror means you're not looking at that friend correctly. So I do think that we're talking about our Knight of Cups here, that there is still someone in your energy, in this group, who wants to evolve with you and to allow them to come with you. That you don't have to cut everyone off just because some of the people in the group don't want to grow. And that's where I think this handshake comes in, is I think you as the Knight of Pentacles and your friend as the Knight of Cups, these two knights are going to come together with an agreement that they're going to move on and do their journey, their evolution together. That's very clear to me that that's coming through. I'm curious to see the tea leaf cards to see if we can get some more confirmation of what I believe to be coming through in these cards. Oh, what's that? So the camel wanted to pop out. Persevere and you will overcome problems. So that's the same message with the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Like we said, you're just going to keep fighting the good fight. You're going to keep growing and evolving and slowly but surely releasing whatever the toxic energies are, whatever that is. Make it make sense. So let's get a couple of tea leaves. We have Diamond, which is you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And that is falling here with the Knight of Cups. And that's why I think that, again, there is someone who is a diamond in this group that you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you're dumping a group of friends, make sure that they're all toxic and that you're not leaving behind a diamond. And then we have Mice, which says discord among friends or family. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. So that helps me to really confirm what we've been saying all along. I would like to pull one chakra card because I always like to check on the health of our chakras to see if there's anything that we can do to be healing. So, oh wow. So this is your crown chakra. This is the color of your crown chakra. And this is a very noble, as you can see, color. So I could leave this reading right here because you don't need chakra help at the moment. Your crown chakra looks absolutely beautiful, but it's not surprising because when you're having a spiritual awakening and you're realizing with the Judgment card, with the Sun, with the Hangman, with Temperance, with the Devil, if you're having a spiritual awakening and there's this many majors, then of course your crown is open and flowing because you're receiving all of this divine information that's allowing you to see the friend group for what they really are. So I think that that's really truly just more confirmation that you are on the right path. You are fully supported by the universe to release these energies, but just make sure you know which ones to release and which ones to keep. Wow. So that's the reading. Will you please let me know how that was resonant for you? And we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.